Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another Coinsider live stream. I love doing these with y'all. I love being able to chat and dig into interesting topics. But first, real quick, a quick mic check. Let me know if my volume is good or if I need to turn it up or down, and I'll do that for you. And as a reminder, I like to do these streams at 12 noon Eastern time, USA time, almost every weekday. I've been a little bit busy lately, so I haven't been as consistent as I'd like, but I hope in the coming weeks to do them 4 or 5 times a week so you can know when to join me exactly for some hot takes, some great analysis, and just looking at the most interesting things, the most interesting opportunities in the space. So for today's stream, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, including what you want to chat about. So chat, just let me know anything that's on your mind or you want me to take a look into with you, and I'll gladly do so. But the main theme for today's stream is, boy, was I wrong about Circle. Remember, I did a stream recently where I said I was bearish in the mid to long term for Circle because I felt like it was overextended. Well, it rocketed even more. So let me just show you that, okay? Okay, one sec. Circle Internet Group. Daily. Let's do the 1 hour chart. And let me share screen. Circle is a stock, Osmotech. So it's a stock. So you can use like Robinhood, for example. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. So it's pretty easy to access if you can buy US based stock. But check this out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I bought puts when it was here, and then it rocketed even more. Freaking rocketed. Let me make this thicker. Rocketed even more. Oh my goodness. Now, its market cap is 44 billion. And I'll be honest, that is shocking because check this out. I mean, Coinbase went up too, but Coinbase is 75. So let's see. 75, and what was Circle again? 44. Coinbase is almost worth 60% of Circle is worth almost 60% of Coinbase. And like I said, that makes no sense because Circle's the vast majority of their revenue is from holding US dollars and earning like interest from it, from the treasury bills, right? And then people use their stablecoin as they like, essentially. But Coinbase has way more diverse revenue streams. Not to mention, they get a big cut of Circle's USDC revenue, like 50%. So the market is making no sense. It's making no sense. And here's some interesting, exactly. Over half of all Circle USDC revenue accrues to Coinbase. The obvious play is Coin. Exactly, Rivionato. Looks like a botted chart. But here's the thing, Vinayak, you make a really good point here. Let me show you this, okay? This may be why it's rocketing so much. Check this out. The low float scam we all wanted this cycle was Circle. Do you guys know what low float means? Low float means that there's not a lot of shares out there trading, so it's really easy to move the price. You know how like for a lot of tokens, they only release like, let's say like 5% or 10%. Like WorldCoin famously had like 1% out, if I'm not mistaken. So, point is, if you have low float, like a lot of crypto projects, it's easy to manipulate the price because there's not a lot of shares or tokens circulating. So this guy was saying the low float scam we all wanted the cycle was Circle. And check this out. Some more details. The float for Circle is less than 10% of total shares based on the IPO structure where 34 million shares were offered. The total outstanding shares are roughly 200 million. Stocks with low float percentage can rise rapidly when public demand is high, as the case with Circle. The only issue is retail allocation was very limited. Most people got way less than their request through Robinhood. And this is like way back. Now it's like almost 200, right? So like people are shorting and it's getting squeezed and my puts are suffering. But maybe that's partly because of the low float, right? So it makes it easier to pump like this. And they said that this shares float is wrong, by the way, and it's less. They say that TradingView has it wrong. So now here's another thing though. What if, guys, wait, I want to show this. What if Coin, Circle, and Hood, aka Coinbase stock, Circle stock, and Robinhood stock, are going to outperform all our altcoins this cycle? They have been. They have been the past few weeks. And what if they continue to do so? Should we sell our stupid altcoins and buy some like TradFi preferred crypto stocks? Should we do that, chat? Let me know. Chat, let me know. Should we buy Coin, Circle, Hood instead of altcoins? Because they've been dominating. Circle went up like 6x in the past few weeks. Have our altcoins done that? Absolutely not. I bet you can't even find like one that in the top 100 that did that. Like these are among the best performing in the entire crypto space, right? And check this out. TradFi and boomers are having their own crypto bull run with Coin and Circle while our bags are getting wrecked. This isn't quite what we pictured when they said institutions are coming. Funny how the tables have turned. Folks, we thought that we had the advantage in crypto, that we knew more because we're OGs. But no, TradFi's win. TradFi always wins. The Wall Street sharks, the boomers, they win. When they're stacking Bitcoin, when we're falling for the FUD, they are winning. Look at these charts. Look at these charts. Oh my goodness, they're winning. TradFi and boomers are winning. Should we just copy them? Should we just sell our altcoins and stop like holding on to a false dream and instead just go with the boomers? Maybe. But here's the thing. I think for my puts, where's my thing? I don't have my phone with me right now, but I bought puts and it was for, like I said, it was for January 2026. I do think that a big correction is coming eventually. So if it stays at these high levels, if it goes even higher, I will add to my puts and it will get me even better positions in terms of out of the money puts for like, maybe I'll do like mid 2026, but I'm confident that this can't stay this high. I am quite confident. Yes, exactly. Circle stock pumping on Genius Bill news. However, value accrues to Coin and settlement layer in Ethereum. So buy Coin and ETH. On a fundamental level, I think you're right. And Coinbase has a much more diversified revenue stream and much better fundamentals, like all things considered. But I will add to my puts position. I will go down with the ship that eventually fundamentals will reign true for Circle, and it is extremely overextended. Or maybe it means that Coin is undervalued and I should just buy Coin or buy calls on Coin like Rivianato is talking about here. But here's the divorce for fundamentals. Check this out. Check this out, folks. Circle market cap is 65% of Coin. About half of Circle revenue goes into Coinbase's pocket. So either Coin is undervalued or Circle is overvalued. So far, I've been playing the Circle is overvalued card, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe instead I should be smart like Rivianato and say that Coin is undervalued and buy Coin shares or Coin calls instead, right? Maybe that is the gigabrain move, and I'm being a mid curve by maybe I'm being a wait, where is it? I'm trying to show the meme. You guys know the meme. This meme. Maybe I'm being a mid curve by buying puts on Circle, and instead I should be Gigabrain and buy shares and calls on Coin. What do y'all think? Rivianato says 100%. Right? Chat, let me know. Am I being a mid curve by buying puts and trying to double down? I mean, look at this chart though. This is insane. Whoops. Let me This is insane. Divorce from fundamentals. Exactly. When pullback, I think we have to be patient because like people are revenge shorting and losing a lot of money by getting squeezed here. So I don't think that's a smart play. You got to be patient, my friend, which is why I bought puts for 6 months from now. And I think that when the employee IPO lockup period ends in early December, it's going to have a significant pullback before then. I'm quite confident about that. I may be wrong. I may go down with this trade in terms of a bad trade, but yeah, I would consider buying Coin and SBET. I like that, Vinayak. It's bullish on ETH too. Let me tell you a story though. You guys remember, how many of you guys remember Zoom? You know Zoom. We've all used it before. Check out this chart. Check out this chart. Remember this? This was the pandemic pump. And this made it go absolutely like one of the hottest companies in the world, folks. Remember Zoom? Chat, how many of y'all remember when Zoom went to the moon and everyone was like, oh my God, this is the next big platform. It's Zoom as a platform. We're going to build apps. We're going to do everything in Zoom, blah, 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 blah. Remember how bullish and euphoric that was? And I was thinking about buying puts around here for 6 months to a year later. I ended up not doing so because it kept on pumping and I got scared. But oh my God, if I had the patience, that would have paid off. Look, how long was it from October 2020? And then, okay, so it took about a year. It dropped more than a half. And then 2 years, it dropped even more. So maybe I need to buy a year out puts for Circle. Next time I buy, I'm going to buy a year out puts. But look, I was so right on my thesis and my gut feeling. I was like, Zoom is way overextended. And now nobody talks about it like that. I mean, still a solid company. It's still solid, right? It's still worth 23 billion, but back here it was worth like 250 billion or something like that, right? Something crazy. So yeah, for Zoom it was just the COVID effect, but still I'm talking about like patience, and my thesis was right back then. So my thesis now is that Circle is gonna do something similar. Maybe not drop down that much, but it will correct significantly. I just got to get the timing right for my puts to pay off. And I believe if my puts hit exactly, it'd be 10x. But I think even if it doesn't hit exactly, I could still sell it beforehand and get a good profit if I'm right and if the timing plays with me, or if the timing cooperates with me here. So that is what I'm kind of thinking. But regardless of all these things, coping wise and Circle being divorced from fundamentals, I am bullish on stablecoins though. I mean, check this out. Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent was saying stablecoins can reinforce dollar supremacy. And they're talking about the Genius Act.
There was a narrative that the U.S. was going to lose reserve currency status. Why it's never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And
because crypto, that seems to be a threat to the dollar, doesn't it?
I think it's the opposite.
Oh, really?
I think
you hear
stable coins could reinforce dollar supremacy.
So people have been aping into Circle stock and things like that. Plasma chain. Remember my stream I did with y'all like a week or two ago about all the stablecoin projects? People are aping into those because of comments like this from the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, one of the smartest members in terms of financial chops in the current administration. And then Delfi Digital, a really trusted research firm in crypto, did this report about stablecoins. Supply past 250 billion. Yield-bearing stablecoins. Athena. I have some ENA. Let's see how ENA is doing actually. Dang, why do they keep making me ENA? Athena USDC. Okay, Athena's not doing that well apparently. Let me look at CoinMarketCap Athena instead. Yeah, Athena's not doing that well. Market cap's still at 1.7 bill. So I'm still bullish on this long term. But I do have a little bit of ENA. Not a huge bag, but yeah, back to this. Like Athena has grown to nearly 6 billion. Tether and Circle still dominate, holding a combined 86% of outstanding supply. Issuer diversity is increasing. Over 120 billion in US treasuries are locked inside stablecoins. The market's looking very different. Look, so many different competitors. Tether, Circle, Sky, formerly MakerDAO, Athena, First Digital, PayPal, Usual, TrueUSD, Frax, and Global Dollar Network. So, and they did a full, like, institutional level research analysis. So I'm definitely still bullish on stablecoins. I just feel like Circle is just way overextended. Yeah, I think the bankers like screwed the insiders. The insiders and the people wanting to participate should have gotten way more exposure. And insiders should have gotten a bigger payout. But they kind of screwed the insiders and people. Circle's so high because of hype. The market these days are divorced from fundamentals. We know, Franklin, the market's all about hype and narratives and things like that. It's as for the better part of a decade, like value investors have been just like coping because none of their stuff matters. It's all narratives. It's all momentum. It's all none of the. It's like fundamental valuations and stuff, right? Like, who's that? Like Benjamin Graham, the intelligent investor, like he's rolling in the grave because none of his fundamental stuff is mattering in this like decade even. So yeah. And don't forget, when the Fed eventually reduces the interest rates, the amount of revenue that Circle makes, like their sole revenue stream, is going to fall. It's going to fall quite a bit and immediately. because the treasury bills that they hold to generate revenue and interest on the dollars that people deposit to create USDC are going to yield them less money. So that is a big factor, right? And Trump has been pushing for lower rates. So that's going to hurt Circle. That's why I'm buying these puts. I'm going to buy another one. If it still goes even higher, I'm buying more puts for a year from now. I'm going to give myself more runway to be correct on this directional thesis. And very smart guy, always the bankers always win. The bankers win. That's what I'm going to say. The bankers always win. Let's see. Okay, so I have some other topics I want to talk about. Let me pull up some stuff. One second. Okay. Share screen. Yeah, JP Morgan. That I did bring that news up, I believe, a couple days ago. I think it's good for Circle in terms of the narrative hype, but it would be competition eating into Circle's kind of market. But honestly, this is a huge market, huge opportunity, so it may not even matter. So before I get into my next topic, I want to talk about Hyperliquid next. But before that, chat, I want to invite y'all. First of all, if you don't mind giving me a quick like, that would help me out immensely. But secondly, I'd love for y'all to join Retail DAO. This is a community of savvy and serious retail investors who like to discuss, share alpha with each other, collaborate on research, and just level up together, right? Join our token gated Discord. All you need is 20K retail tokens. It is a great price to buy this right now, so you can join, very affordable, and you pass the token gating process, join the Discord, and you're in. Come say GM to us. And if you need help on how to buy that, then you can go to our Retail DAO channel on YouTube, and I made a step-by-step guide of how to buy retail token. It's on Base Network, and you can use Uniswap. So I'd love to see many of y'all in. I know for those watching this, you care about research and you consider yourself a more savvy investor, not just gambling on random things, right? So I'd love to have y'all in there. We already have around 500 really, really solid, active people, even talking, even discussing and looking for opportunities during sideways periods, during bear periods. There's still opportunities for us if we really lock in and dig and like get in early together, right? So I'd love to see y'all in there. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Hyperliquid. Trading view. Okay. Hyperliquid. KuCoin. Is this good? Pith? My goodness, it's dropping quite a bit. Look at this. Since its high, new all-time high here, it has dropped. It has dropped quite a bit. So what does this tell us, right? Because if you remember on X, everyone was kind of hyping up Hyperliquid, saying it's the best, it's the next Sol. It's like everyone is underway. They're like, go all in on hype. That was near the top and had a massive pullback. So the point is, I don't care how good the fundamentals are. I don't care how much hype it has, how much narrative domination and mindshare domination it has. When things get euphoric it often means that it's overextended and that a big pullback is in store, right? So I kind of fell in for the hype and I bought a lot more like near here. So it's kind of down quite a bit, but I'm still very bullish on hype as one of the most solid coins of this cycle. As you can see, if I just zoom out a bit and go to the daily, like this is one of the most solid coins this entire cycle. And check this out. Hype Sol. Can I do Hype Sol ratio? I think some people did it on X. Let me Hype Sol. Okay, I can't easily find it right now. But yeah. Point is, hype has been beating Sol too. But then there is some bear case for it. Like this guy said that he held hype since TGE, but is selling now. The fundamentals are still solid, but there's a serious threat ahead. Guess what the threat is? Coinbase and Robinhood. Because they are going to launch perpetual futures trading in the US. So most US traders use Hyperliquid because they simply don't have a better option. We're locked out of Binance, BitGet, and other major centralized exchanges, but now Coinbase and Robinhood have announced that they're launching perpetual futures products in the US. This changes everything for Hyperliquid. A significant portion of its high volume core users will likely move. They offer safer, easier to access perps, no self-custody, no complex DeFi UX, and full backing from regulators. So that is a good point. And check this out. This is from Arthur Hayes, co-founder of BitMEX, was interviewed by Laura Shin about this. Okay, let's watch this together. Oh, you guys couldn't see this. My bad. One sec. Let's watch this because sorry. Here it is. Let's watch this together. One sec.
Can Hyperliquid justify its valuation in the face of a Coinbase and Robinhood perp exchange that targets the wealthiest retail degens in the world, Americans? So when it comes to Hyperliquid and you look at their active addresses trading and it's something in like 20 to 30,000, that tracks. Because if you are in a location where you can't trade on a centralized exchange for whatever reason, Hyperliquid's where you're going. Which obviously the one problem that I see potentially with the valuation and the multiple is what happens when Coinbase and Robinhood launch their perps sometime this summer in the United States. How many of those 20 to 30,000 people are Americans who couldn't trade perps anywhere else and Hyperliquid's their thing?
That is a great point, right, Chad? Like, that is a great point about the long-term competitiveness and valuation of Hyperliquid when Coinbase and Robinhood come for a big chunk of its user base. That's a great point and food for thought. I still think hype can go much higher, but long-term, fundamentally speaking, this is something to worry about. Frank says, I was lucky to get 100 shares of Circle at an IPO price. It's way overvalued, but so is Palantir. Circle is very profitable even when rates come down. That is a great point. And if we look at, like, stocks is the new meta. Like, stocks is better than altcoins right now. Fellow retail DAOs, like DAOs, we should be trading stocks. Check this out. This is Palantir. Look at this chart. Oh my goodness. Look at this chart. This is an absolute absolute rocket ship right here. Palantir is 330 billion valuation. Hottest stocks, one of the hottest stocks, right? Like, sure, there's some solid altcoins that can do this like easily, but in terms of like risk reward, maybe we should be starting to buy some stocks too. I don't know about Palantir at these levels, right? But like Circle, Coinbase, Hood, Robinhood, right? If we're bullish in crypto, why not some of those if you can access them? Yeah, are we looking at meme coin charts or stocks or NASDAQ listed stocks, right? That's a great question. Circle going parabolic for sure. Back to hype though. I still am bullish on hype though, because they remember how they do buybacks based on revenue, right? Well, their buybacks are on tier with the likes of Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Alphabet, and Meta, the Magnificent Five. Like, if you look at these numbers, you can make a fundamental case for Hyperliquid. I mean, it's not as much as them, but like compared to the other factors, it is like very comparable, if not even better, essentially. So we're talking about buybacks and dividends when compared to their market cap and the multiple and things like that. So Hyperliquid has a solid fundamental case going for it. So I'm still bullish on it. And another reason why is someone asked, why haven't options ever caught on in crypto? It's because they are crap compared to the perpetual swap. And this guy writes, options are a very different product. I think the average trader doesn't understand them. You must get the direction and timing of the mood correct. Much trickier to do. So few know the Greeks, and even us that do get it wrong sometimes. Easy to have fixed risk with mega leverage though. So like perpetual swaps are great, and that's what Hyperliquid is all about. So I am very bullish on it still. Okay, let's see. Guys, this is moving on to a little bit different of a topic, but I want to give y'all a heads up about a very important thread I saw like last night or very recently. First of all, hold hype retail Bitcoin. You're welcome. That is hype airdrop is going to be big. I agree, Vinayak, and I like this. Tesfa, I like this too. Before I show you this, actually, you're speaking of the hype airdrop, Vinayak. One sec. Before I get into this new thread, check this out. I know many of y'all haven't watched this yet, but more and more people are watching it. How to farm Hyperliquid's next airdrop like a pro. I dive into what you should be spending your capital and focus on for this season 3 points second airdrop. So definitely give this a watch if you haven't already, and you will thank me for it when their next points program gets announced and launched. So definitely give this a watch. But I said there was something very important I saw. Someone got hacked per se, and all their wallets drained. And a big thing about this is there's like deep fakes and whatnot, but they're asking people to join their Zoom, and then they're pretending like there's an issue, and they told them to like download a Zoom update, and then their 6 wallets were drained. Laptop completely compromised. So guys, don't join Zoom links, and if you do join Zoom links, don't like do the updates, like don't do this little repair thing and things like that. Those are fake. Those are malware. Those are going to compromise your system, right? No matter like how big the opportunity is, people get phished. People get tricked by deepfakes and stuff like that. So definitely be careful. about that stuff. Just giving y'all a heads up. Okay, let's see. What else is... You know what's interesting though? Like Bitcoin is holding pretty steadily this past like few days. It hasn't dipped below. Yeah, exactly. They get sneakier and sneakier. I mean, some hackers like spend literally all day, every day trying to get good at it, right? Also, folks, we have about 50 people watching. Would really appreciate if y'all can give me a quick like while you're watching the stream. And chat. Definitely let me know what's on your mind. We're chilling, we're vibing, we're chatting, looking into interesting things. Let's see what else is going on. Um let's see if there's any other interesting news. Oh yeah, arrow pumping. Oh yeah, did y'all see this? Polygon has been suffering for a long time now, and they're making big moves. The co-founder, to try to get it back on track. Let me show you Polygon on Coinbase. Look, this chart is nasty. Like, look at Polygon. Oh my goodness. Like, this used to be the darling. Let me zoom out even more to weeks. Yeah, this is nasty. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Polygon, RIP. No wonder they're making like desperate moves. Sandeep Nawal's Polygon takeover is chance to go all in. Dissolving Polygon's board, closing ZK EVM, sole leadership is the best chance for the network's shot at relevance. Like, they're making drastic moves because they're feeling desperate. Strategic response, he take over as CEO. Sunset at ZK EVM chain, focus on real-world assets and stablecoin payments through Polygon POS. Oh, he said it's like Vitalik's declared sole authority, and Sandeep said the same. Things were taking a lot of time. Decisions that should have been made in 2 weeks or sometimes taking 2 months. That's definitely a problem with decentralized projects. Things taking too long, right? That's a trade-off that affects a lot of decentralized projects. Soon, Polygon ZK EVM will shut down. They acquired Hermes, rebranded, development abandoned, never upgraded to use blobs. Announced chain will shut down. So yeah, Polygon has been... They're aiming to go gigagas. So they're hustling. I can't hate on this, right? Because Polygon has been struggling, and they need drastic changes, or they're just going to fade away into irrelevance. I'm not shorting Circle. I bought long-term puts on it, like 6 months to a year. But yeah, I may get wrecked. Maybe I should just buy coin stock like someone else said. But let's take a look at Arrow because Tesla's right. Arrow has been Aerodrome Finance right here. Arrow has been pumping. Check this out. And I remember there was a strong reason why Arrow, Coinbase, I believe related to Coinbase. Let me see if I can find it. Right here, right here. Check this out. Here's the only sure bet on base is Arrow. I see Arrow easily surpassing $10. That's a 10x from here. If Coinbase manages to onboard serious capital along with institutions and retail. Because remember, Coinbase is going to let people trade DEX coins on their app. And that would likely be powered by Aerodrome. Coinbase base DEX. Let's see if I can find that. Right here. You see this?
I'm incredibly excited to share with you that we will be integrating decentralized exchanges from Base directly into the main Coinbase.
Guys, that means you may be able to buy retail on your Coinbase app straight from it. We are on Uniswap v4. Hopefully that will be included as well. But Aerodrome will definitely be included as the biggest native DEX on Base. So Arrow is pumping for reasons like this, Tesfa. Saw rumors on X about Coinbase. Bullish for retail. At least it makes it easier to buy. You don't have to jump through hoops in terms of going on Uniswap v4, getting ETH on Base. You can straight buy it in the Coinbase app in the future. And we're playing the long game with retail, okay? This is not a short-term pump and dump. Coinbase Injective. Let's see what you're talking about here. Coinbase Injective, INJ. Okay, Coinbase has been accumulating INJ. INJ Injective is RWA, made in the USA, available in the Coinbase 50 Index, AI, and DPIN. Check this out. This is Coinbase 50 Index, RWA projects, made in the USA, and AI and DPIN, and Injective is in the middle of all this. So, Injective was withdrawn. Interesting. Let's take a look at Injective. Oh my goodness, I hate these freaking pop-ups from Injective. It's still down quite a bit, but not bad if you believe in this kind of thesis that Coinbase is stacking. Market cap 1.13 billion right here. Thoughts on SPK recently launched. What is SPK? Let's see. Spark SPK debuts with $18 million airdrop. Decentralized lender. Spark SPK. Spark.fi. Is that right? Spark.fi? Spark.fi. Interesting. It's a stablecoin project. Okay. SPK. I mean, it could benefit from the stablecoin narrative. That's an easy thesis. Spark, SPK. Now, let's look on-chain capital allocator, SPK token, Ethereum mainnet. Okay. Which is Spark SPK. Already 73 mil. FDV 400 mil. Come on, man. I mean, not a bad. Let's see. What is it compared to ENA? Yeah, if it could reach ENA, that's a tall task, though. Athena is quite the juggernaut, in my opinion. Not bad, though. Not bad. I like this. And you can buy it on Coinbase, Binance. Not bad. Thanks for the share, actually. DYOR, if you're in Retail DAO, you should write a thread about SPK, and you could get some bonus XP for that, because this is great alpha. But yeah, folks, I had a really fun stream with y'all today. Don't forget to give me a quick like. We chatted about Circle, we chatted about Hyperliquid, and looked into a bunch of other stuff that's interesting. I most likely will do one tomorrow at the same time as today, so I hope you join me as well. We'll look into other interesting topics, of course. And yeah, hope you have a great one. And happy trading. Hope you see y'all around in the Retail DAO. Links below in the description. Always a great day to join Retail DAO and become one of the fellow DAOs.